That would be some crazy shit if what you just said was true. You know, some people say that Tupac is not even dead.
Here are the people
they
that
say he's hanging out in Utah.
Here are the people that aren't dead.
That they say, conspiracy-wise.
Here are the people that aren't dead. Ready?
Hit me with it.
You.
Me. You.
Adolf Hitler.
I don't know about that one.
He's in Argentina, hiding. He may be dead now, but he wasn't dead when they said he was.
That was a conspiracy?
Elvis
is dead. He drowned in a pussy.
If the pussy was a toilet.
It drowned him from the bottom.
If the pussy was cardiac arrest, he drowned in that motherfucker. You know, those are the people that aren't dead to me. Tupac, dead. You know why?
Adolf Hitler's not dead to you?
Nah.
Why not?
Because they said he killed himself. There's a whole theory about it.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I do enjoy listening to the conspiracy theories. Like I don't buy into any of them. I don't like take any of them seriously, but I think it's really interesting the amount of research that some people do just to make a YouTube video.
Right.
It's pretty silly.
Like, well, it's kind of like us. It's like they're actually trying to sound intelligent, where we could make up a theory just like that within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
With no pictures of Adolf Hitler. We could just be talking.
I mean, you told the world that Alcatraz was being remade into a real life Call of Duty map.
Yeah. And it is a real Call of Duty map, but it's not in real life. But I did convince some people that there were going to be people that signed up to go shoot other people on an island. You're welcome.
You're an expert liar.
Lying is fun. Lying is really fun. If you are having trouble finding fun in your life out there, you're driving to work today and you're thinking, man, what can I do today to spice up my work life? You should lie to your boss.
Tell a little white lie.
Say, yeah, I finished that report. It'll be over in a few minutes. And then you just leave them hanging.
Yeah.
Leave them hanging. Don't send that email.
Imagine if I did that at work, halfway through a tattoo. I'm done with the tattoo. It's done.
They're like, really?
It's finished.
Yeah.
What about down here? No.
Nope.
It's done. That's how I want it to be.
And it's not even like the order of how you would do things. And it's just you did a full order of a tattoo, but only half of the image.
In a way, I could say, well, that's just my style.
You should start a style that creates less work for yourself. I'm going to start doing that with haircuts, just like how they do it, like sports clips or master cuts, where they're like
skip steps.
Or like some barbers will be like, I don't do edging. If there's a barber out there that says I don't do edging, you just don't do the whole job.
I agree with that.
That's like a tattoo artist says, you know what? I don't do lines that stay.
Yeah, it's like I do lines, make sure they want to go away.
Yeah. So, and then there's some tattoo artists that decide to do, and I saw a picture of one that we both know. He did an image that was supposed to be realism, and he did multiple sessions, and you could see like crazy scabbing on it. And I was like, that's a guy that overdid his job.
Yeah. He did it too much.
Yeah, he did too much of a job.
Yeah.
Which actually was detriment. Which in the real world, that's like you have a bad boss that doesn't realize you do the most for him, and he doesn't pay you for how much you do for him.
Right.
He's gonna miss you. You should always try to do your best. Okay, actually, here's a quote from my dad.
I thought it was coming up.
Always do your better best until your best is better and your better is best. And if your boss doesn't appreciate it, ditch them.
Can you repeat that again for the folks?
Always do your better best until your best is better and your better is best. And my dad made me in 5th grade. I was having a hard time in 5th grade. Everybody has one grade. There's some people that every grade's hard.
Yeah.
They're called stupid people. So
if you struggled at school, you're an idiot.
Hey, if you struggle in elementary school, you're probably dumb. Because it's just the fundamentals of how to think.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe not.
Hey, a lot of famous people dropped out of school before they even got to high school.
You did a lot of research.
Yep. And what are they famous for?
Rapping, acting.
So things you don't need education for.
Yeah.
It's like they're just cool.
It's like, okay, let's find the thing that requires the most emotion.
Like a child.
All actors are childs.
All actors are childs. Put that on a t-shirt because all actors are childs.
Dude, Tom Hardy's such a whiny little baby.
I saw him win a jiu-jitsu match, though.
I saw him get kicked in the face of that jiu-jitsu match.
Did he get kicked? He really did?
Yeah, one of the people he went against accidentally kicked him in the face, and they're like, I'm sorry, Tom Hardy, for kicking you in the
for
face.
real? I saw the one where he just got the guy in an armbar.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's decent.
Yeah, he did a good job. I mean, it wasn't like the most fun match that I watched.
I mean, I would smother him, but...
Yeah, well, there's a difference between...
I'm just kidding. If I ever got to roll with Tom Hardy, that'd be amazing. I'd love that.
And maybe he will.
Yeah. Tom Hardy, if you ever want to come train at the dumpster at my house, like we call it the dumpster. It's just my garage. It has a wrestling mat in it. Totally down.
Well, we call it the dumpster because everyone at the end of the day smells like trash, and there's also there's also some trash in there.
Our trash cans are in there.
There's also rats that run across the mats whenever you guys are rolling. It's a little bit more excitement.
Yeah, I like that. It feels like I'm in Prince of Persia in the Sands of Time.
Yeah.
Like I'm like doing some martial arts, and then there's rats around me.
All right. Now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you there for a second.
Dude,
but
you texted me the other day.
What'd I say?
Something a little bit, I don't know, exciting. Do you remember?
Well, you know, first things first. You know what's exciting?
What?
Today is our 61st episode.
I think that's exciting.
Episode 61. You know why it's exciting?
Why?
Because if you combine both our ages, 28 and 27,
holy shit,
it adds up to 61.
Oh. What?
Yeah. I mean, you got to carry the 5.
Yeah. No,
Math.
It's funny though.
Math.
27 and 28 equals 61.
If you carry the 5.
Well, dude, math, you do whatever you want with it.
I mean, it's math.
I'm sure some science bitch somewhere could figure out a fraction to carry the 1 and make it 61.
Yeah. When's the last time you did long division? When's the last time you did long anything?
Well, I took a leak earlier.
I noticed because I went to walk out into the hall and you were peeing from your room to your toilet. It was like, that's a long pee.
I've been complimented on my strong pelvic floor. I'm no Matthew McConaughey peeing over top of a 7-foot man.
Right.
And I'm no middle school legend Randall
peeing
over top of a bathroom stall. But basically, you ever hear of a water saw?
Water saw? No.
It's a saw that uses water to cut things.
Oh, yes. So it doesn't, yes, I understand.
Basically, the person who invented that, I've been taking their training videos to try to make my pee stream like a water saw. I'm trying to cut my toilet in half.
Well, you need the actual saw blade to do that in real life, but if you practice hard enough, I believe that you can just
I'm trying to create
you can turn your stream into a saw itself and cut right through your toilet.
I'm trying to.
And I want to be there when it's done.
It's going to happen.
I'm going to be out of the way.
Yeah, because it's going to cause a mess.
Oh, one, it's going to cause a mess, and it could cause a horrible injury.
We got to get a plumber with a big old butt crack.
Yeah,
to come on deck. Just
the bigger the butt crack, the better the plumber.
That's what I've heard.
Well, it's because
I heard that too. Who told you that?
Well, I don't remember who told me, but it's because he's willing to show his pipes.
Yeah. Plumbers got big pipes.
Yeah, and if they're not willing to show their pipes, which is their butt crack, which is the journey into the center of a plumber, which I've watched that movie. Great. The Rock does amazing job in it.
The Rock and Kevin Hart do a great part in that movie.
Yeah. The journey to the center of a plumber.
They just go up his little butt. And turns out there's like dinosaurs.
Never ends.
There's like an
never
island
ends,
in there.
Yeah.
There's like a man eating Venus flytraps.
But you know, the whole part of that movie that I was most impressed with that they didn't even highlight is the plumbing in the movie.
Oh, I know.
Amazing.
I appreciate a good plumb job.
Not a single leak.
No.
Not a single clog.
And they don't tell you this, but I was on set. There was not any plumbing tape used. everything was perfectly geometrically aligned, and it just happened to work out really well.
Yeah.
It's a pretty amazing thing.
I can't imagine. Plumbers just got it, man. They just freaking got that. They freaking got it.
That's where the money's at.
True.
And you know what?
Trades.
They've always got freaking giant hogs on them too.
Giant hogs. That's what, the bigger the hog, the bigger the butt crack. That's why it travels up farther on their back too.
Yep.
Some guys have their pants all the way up. It's just their crack, as they're working, rides up. It actually travels farther up their spine.
Two of the luckiest people on earth. You know, lottery winners would be considered lucky to some.
Right.
Plumbers' wives.
Plumbers' wives. Absolutely. Can you imagine?
No. The amount of pleasure. It's got to be like 3 liters of pleasure.
At least.
Yikes.
Yeah, cool, because their dick never clogs. Just straight stream of freaking, whole, all man and seed.
If you are a size queen and you want to be a mother, date a plumber.
Date a plumber. Yeah.
That's it.
He may smell like shit, but he's going to give you that dick.
Do you ever think that plumbers actually ever encounter any kind of creatures in the plumbing?
I would say.
What kind of creatures?
Well, I'd say snakes. One. That's just an easy creature.
I don't know. You ever tried to have sex with a snake?
Wait. So, I feel like we went back to the plumbing of a toilet.
No. You just called snakes easy. That's what.
Oh, yeah. That's an easy one.
Never for me, man.
Huh. It's so crazy because your handle is handshake snakes, and but you've actually never shook a hand of a snake.
No.
Well, maybe you have, but you've never gotten to second base with a snake.
I've never gotten first base with a snake.
Where's the snake's tits?
I don't know. You ever milk a snake?
What do you do? Just go from the head down to the tail and hopefully fucking it comes out?
I did that once. I started with the tail of a snake, and I gripped it as hard as I could, and I started pulling on the tail. And the only thing that came out of it was all of its like bones and guts.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
You skinned it.
Yeah, accidentally.
You actually did it. You actually did it a favor. It was about to like lose skin. It was about to shed.
I was on a quest, so all I did was I used the snake skin to sheath my sword.
Yeah. You traded it for some oil to sharpen your sword.
But sorry for interrupting you. You think there's some snakes in the pipes? You think the plumbers encounter some snakes or other
while
creatures?
having sex? There are snakes
while
in women.
doing their plumbing job up in the bathroom.
Oh, yes. There's not snakes in women.
No.
Not usually.
Some women are snakes.
I did watch a show
Some
today
men are
where
snakes.
a snake went inside of a woman's mouth and she swallowed it whole.
Whoa. Why would she do that?
She was one of the women that's like the oracle.
Oh.
And it was a gift, and she like let it run down her hand and go into her mouth, and it was kind of a creepy part. It was just for shock factor.
Freaky.
But you're talking about cryptids, and
let's get down to the cryptids.
So the text that I sent you was what? I can't remember. What did
you said? Hey, turns out they found the Mon River Monster.
Yes,
there were sightings of a Mon River Monster.
Yeah, so there's been sightings over the years. I don't know when it started, but every few years there's sightings of the Mon River Monster. We're saying that for short as the Monongahela River Monster, which is described as a extremely large alligator snapping turtle with a longer tail than normal. So it's kind of like when you see it in the water, you can see the tail moving, but you also see the head of a turtle, and it's huge. It's like could be up to 20 feet long.
Right.
And it's just way bigger than an animal that's supposed to be in that river. That ecosystem does not supply enough food for something that big. Now, in the ocean, there's whales and giant things, but nobody believe. Like, I watched the interview with these people, and they're like, we know we sound crazy, but we saw it 3 days apart from each other, and they were actually casting out at it and trying to like hook it, like, because they didn't know what it was. So they're like, we just want to see what this is, and this is the only way you can do it. So one guy ran to the truck to try to turn the lights on, and another guy's like casting at, trying to hook it,
right,
just so they can like slow it down maybe.
Right.
And they said they thought it looked like the head of it was like the size of a large beach ball.
Oh,
like, what is
Lord.
that? And then it started to. They thought it was like drifting down, but then it actually started working its way upstream. Like, okay, that's too big, and they saw it crawl up on the rocks.
Oh.
And it was 15 feet long, possibly.
Oh my gosh.
You don't believe it?
Nope.
So why? Why can't you believe that there's just a giant turtle?
I believe there's giant turtles.
Just not that big, is what you're saying.
No, I even think it could possibly be that big. But anytime somebody goes, we saw it 3 days in a row, and then we casted at it, but we didn't catch it, and we saw it climb up on the rocks.
Yeah.
And it was 30 feet long. It's like, okay, that's the same story for Bigfoot. That's the same story for the chupacabra. Like,
It's also the same story for some guy that saw the biggest buck of his life.
yeah.
It's also the same story for a guy that saw a mountain lion in Kentucky.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen the same wild animal 3 days in a row?
Yes. But I did spend a lot of time in the woods.
Was it for hunting?
Yes.
Okay. Well, these people were out on their
I would
boat.
see the same deer over and over and over because they're on a pattern.
Well, these people are out on their boat, summer style, vacation style. They're going fishing or swimming. Mm-hmm. It's like they're not tracking a giant turtle.
Right.
They're just going, oh my gosh, there it is again, the giant turtle. Let's tell everybody we saw the giant turtle again.
Right. Well, in my opinion, if there's a lot of food in one area all of a sudden, let's say there is a giant turtle in the Mon River, okay? Just a monster, 20 feet long. It's going to scare every single fish in the entire area upstream.
Yeah.
Because it takes up most of the river. So it's just going to like slowly push things up into like a shallow point and then just feed on them. Right? I mean, you're not going to, that's like how orcas and sharks, they push things to a shallow area and then they feed on them. So that's kind of what I imagine a giant turtle doing in a small river, is pushing all these fish to one area. Turtles, there's been stories of them actually killing deer on the side of the river. You know, that's just a story.
A turtle?
This specific Mon River Monster is what I'm talking about. This specific thing. And why can't there just be why can't there be a big turtle? You know? There's literally a fish in the ocean that has a street light on it that attracts all the hobo fish to the bus stop, and then they eat them.
Isn't it amazing?
So with that being known, I'm doing this because I'm being the light.
Yeah.
Imagine me as an anglerfish luring all the hobo fish to me.
The bum fish.
The bum fish. And here I am at the corner. I'm luring all the prostitute bum fish. And then, I mean, I feel like
your big ass mouth and
I feel like there could be with that being known, there could be a building in New York City that does the same thing, has a light across it, and then there's just like some hobo that goes across, and then the building devours it.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you think of it like this,
there's a light bulb on a fish.
Yeah.
So why can't there be a giant turtle?
So if you think of it like this, you know, there's billions of humans on Earth, right? Mm-hmm. And you have some humans who are born without, it's very rare, but there are humans who are born without the ability to feel fatigued. And they're ultra marathon runners, right? They're incredible humans. There's humans that are born like Ngannou, just a giant man.
Yeah.
Just a giant human. There's humans that are born like who have deformities, and they have all these giant bags on their faces, or they look like something out of a storybook.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, there's probably billions of turtles. There's billions of whales. There's billions of all of these other animals. There's some fucking weird ones.
Yeah. And knowing that, it's like there's at least one big ass turtle.
Oh yeah, it might be in the Mon River.
It could be. I'm not saying there is, but I don't see why there couldn't be.
Yeah.
And it's like, and like I was telling you earlier, it's like, why is it so hard to believe that something can just get big? You know what I mean? It's just growing.
Yeah.
Some things just get big. There are, like I was telling you earlier, it's like we're made of atoms.
You are made of atoms.
Yeah. Everything's made of atoms.
Not me.
And we can believe we can believe that we're scientifically we can believe in a science book that we're made of atoms, very small molecules.
You did a lot of research.
But we can't believe that a turtle can just get big.
I know.
Or
here's
there's whales that are 100 feet long.
Here is motivation for everybody out there to be a better person, to become a trustworthy person, to work hard, to live your life in a trustworthy way. Because let's say you're a shitty guy and you're out fishing and you actually see the Mon River turtle
Monster.
Mon
River turtle shark monster.
Mon River turtle shark monster. If you're a shitty guy, not going to believe you.
Yeah.
Not going to believe you for one bit.
Right.
Now, if you're like our one friend we went to high school with, who's just like the greatest person ever, if he told me he saw the Mon River Monster, I would be like, yo, let's get a group of guys together and let's hunt this son of a bitch out.
Right. And that's how I feel about my old neighbor. He was an avid hunter, and people have said people don't believe that there's mountain lions in West Virginia, like in this section of the states and on the eastern side, basically. And they said that there used to be, but there's not anymore for some reason. I'm not saying that there is.
Okay.
But I don't see why there couldn't be. Because
did your neighbor say that there was?
He said that he saw, so they would call it, like he saw now this is harder to believe because there's bears, because all of our bears are black. He saw a black panther. Like he saw a
I've heard it before.
Black panther. Ooh,
I've heard it before.
Black panther. Ooh.
In this area, I've heard it before. How old were you when that happened?
I mean, that was before I was born.
Okay, so.
But he would tell you. He'd be like, I'm pretty sure he's like, I saw one.
On the school bus. Mm-hmm. An old friend of mine, Kelly, when we were kids, we were young, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, she said her dad saw one as well. So there must have been a black panther that just like escaped in West Virginia and it lived for a while and people saw it.
And so here's the thing. But also people will be like, hey, look at this picture. I got a cougar. They'll always do a cougar. They always say cougar. They're like, I saw a cougar on my game camera, but it's kind of fuzzy looking.
You did a lot of research.
And they show me the picture, and it's absolutely a bobcat.
Yeah.
And people will be like, yeah, I heard a cougar. I heard a mountain lion cry the other night. It was crazy. Well, mountain lions don't do that. Bobcats do.
Yeah.
That's a bobcat cry. It's literally a bobcat. They sound like babies or a woman yelling. That's what it sounds like. So, and it's very eerie. It's awful. Yeah. It's like, ugh, do I even want to get down? But a bobcat's not going to freak.
But I want to get down.
But I think I'm going to go home now. It's like, it's only 9 o'clock. I was trying to go home at 11. I'm probably going to go home now.
I hear a bobcat freaking me out. I want to get down.
Like if I heard a bobcat cry at a bar, I'm heading home. Early. I was going to stay out all night. I'm going home.
Nope.
But yeah, it's like
bobcats are bad luck.
But I can't see why there couldn't be. But like everyone says, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There can't be. It's like, why not? And then there's another type of rumor that is in the caving community. I talked to a customer that actually listened to the podcast, and he's a big fan. I really appreciate him. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I won't. But he doesn't believe in this, but there are people that are in the caving world that believe in cave goblins.
Fuck that shit.
And that's where I think, is it the movie The Descent?
Yeah.
That's kind of where that started. Is that where there's like literally
yeah, they're goblins.
Yeah. And so they say that there's cave goblins in these caves, deep down in these caves. And it's like, well, if something lives in caves, you might not know. It might not be a goblin. There may not be a gargoyle cave monster, but there could be something that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
And there's most of the world we haven't seen yet. Isn't that crazy? Most of the world we haven't seen, just the surface part.
Yeah.
95% of the ocean we haven't seen yet.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
So like I think the idea of caving is terrifying.
Well, there's been a lot of cases where people get killed.
Yeah. I've seen movies where people crawl deep in caves and can't get out and then they just suffocate and die. That sounds miserable. I have heard of cave situations where you crawl into a cave and then you crawl out an exit that ends you up in like this crazy pool area.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like something out of Zelda. I don't know. I would do that if I knew it was already mapped out. I would never explore a cave by myself.
And
So I don't blame all these scientists for not checking out all these areas because you're going to fucking die. As far as cave goblins go, fuck that shit. I'm not about to go and encounter some naked man ghoul in the bottom of a fucking cave.
yeah, I'm not ever going to touch Goblin's bottom.
But I promise you one thing. If that cave goblin would come out of the cave and meet me on dry land in a flat area, he wouldn't stand a chance.
Submit him.
He would be tapping to an armbar in 0.1 second.
Well, he's not used to that open landscape.
Exactly.
He's used to battling in smaller spaces.
Exactly. And
He doesn't know what to do with all this fucking
And honestly,
space.
me, I don't know what to do in that area.
It's like
if I'm like this,
Right.
my
You're
punching
gone. You're
ability
done.
is not good.
They're like Bruce Lee in a cave. That freaking make your heart stop kind of thing. Man. But out in the open, they don't even know how to swing, dude. They're just doing this.
You just speaking of Bruce Lee and the 1-inch punch made me think of something that I actually talked to my coach, Nick Kyle. I actually talked to him about this. And I think it's just the silliest thing on earth. So we're on this topic of cryptids, talking about the Mon River Monster, and then you have goblins in the cave, and then you have all these then you have real life animals that we have discovered. And there's one, it's called a pistol shrimp or a pistol lobster. I can't remember which one it is, a shrimp or a lobster. But it's a lobster that shoots its enemy or its prey with a little air bubble that it creates. Before you look it up, listen to me because it's hilarious what I'm saying. This is what scientists say, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
They make this little air bubble and they shoot people with it. And they say it's a little air bubble this big that's hotter than the surface of the sun.
You did a lot of research.
A lobster makes a little air bubble that's hotter than the surface of the sun?
That sounds like
That's so stupid. That is so dumb. That is so dumb.
I'm gonna go home to my girlfriend one night. I'm gonna say, my love for you is hotter than a pistol shrimp's bubble, baby. She's like, what's that mean? I said, it's hotter than the sun.
I just picture the shrimp going. And like that little like quarter mile of the earth is like in flames.
I'm pretty sure that's how volcanoes were invented.
So it's just
It's not a volcano, it's just a pistol shrimp colony.
It's just ridiculous. You know, back in the day, you heard these facts from scientists, either from the internet or encyclopedias or whatever.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you didn't know any better because you didn't have the internet. You weren't connected to all these people. So you were just like, you just took it. If it was like written in text on the internet or in a book, you were just like, fact. That's a fact on God.
It's like it wasn't one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do the research.
That was a scientist.
But hotter than the surface of the sun?
Dude, the evolution of shrimp has gone so far. It's like, this is the only thing I can think of. It's like a pistol shrimp can shoot a bubble that's hotter than the sun And then every day on my way home, someone stops at this yield on the way home, and they have their own lane, and they stop every single day. So they can understand how to shoot pure magma bubbles, and then this old lady just doesn't know how to fucking drive.
I know.
It's like
hilarious.
We are putting our efforts in the wrong places.
I know.
Do you think if we tried long enough that our great grandkids could shoot
I'll tell you what.
like bubbles that are hotter than the sun?
I can't do it. I mean, I can do it, but not as good as my younger brother.
Right.
JC can concentrate his air in his mouth to where it's so condensed that he can literally blow out fog.
See? And that's how evolution starts.
I know.
Yeah.
He needs to keep doing it. Teach it to his son. His son needs to do it. Teach it to his son. If they have a daughter, do it. Teach it to the daughter. But that daughter needs to mate with a boy who's been doing it too.
Yeah.
Pistol
And
human. You imagine a human blowing a bubble that's hotter than the sun?
Yeah. And well, that's another thing. It's like
That's a cryptid.
It's a bubble. He's blowing bubbles in air. That's even more intense. That's even more impressive. A shrimp blows a bubble underwater. Obviously, there's going to be a bubble underwater.
Yeah.
Because there's no air down there.
Yeah.
But he's blowing a thicker air bubble than air itself.
Yeah. My younger brother's impressive.
He's a fog machine.
Basically, frog's breath.
Dude, frog's breath. Hire him for your rave parties.
Anybody out there who wants to throw a really good rave, my younger brother is taking applications for jobs. He will be blowing concentrated fog bubbles out of his mouth at your rave. He's really good at it.
He doesn't stop at the mouth either.
No.
Pull down them pants, baby.
Farts fog too.
And here I bought a fog machine at Halloween once.
I know it,
I
man.
could have just paid him $20.
Well, he was 16 at the time.
Oh yeah,
He was
well you can't.
underage.
Well, yeah, you can't. Well, if he's 16, I can at least pay him to do the mouth fog. Man, whoever ends up with him for the rest of their lives is going to be one lucky lady.
She's going to be one lucky raver.
Yeah. He's like, everybody come. They're going to have a party house. Come on, honey, do the thing. I'm tired. Come on.
He's like, I just want to listen to guitar strum. I don't want to listen to this techno. Getting back into more cryptids. When I was younger and first discovered YouTube, I was all about cryptozoology. And that basically means like a cryptid, the word crypto just basically means hidden. So if you say cryptozoology, it's just information about animals who are who are undiscovered.
Right.
So
kind of like cryptocurrency. Like we don't know what's going on with that.
I guess
Nobody knows.
Honestly, maybe
Cryptocurrency, hidden currency. It's actually not ours. We're putting money into it, and it's just going to disappear over time. It's going to just disappear one day.
makes sense to me.
As soon as the freaking one of those sun ray things shoots into the atmosphere, and then we have no electricity anymore.
Yeah.
All your crypto's gone, buddy.
Conspiracy, bitch.
It takes one time.
You did a lot of research.
But that would also kill everyone, so we wouldn't need it. So
I was so into this stuff at the time. I mean, I would obsess over this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would go on YouTube and look up alien abductions, UFO sightings. I would look up all of this stuff. And I remember one video in particular that stands out to me. That was this was back when YouTube was still not really like the whole internet is monitored now. Like if you see a crazy video that the government doesn't want you to see, like it's pretty much down immediately. Like you just don't even get to see it anymore. But back in the day, it wasn't really monitored like it is now.
right, like all these videos of the water-based engine in cars. It's like, I know what I've got. I'm not selling it to the government.
Oh shit, is that a thing?
It's just a joke on TikTok. Everybody will like pull up the hood of their car and it's like water-based engine when it's not.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'm not selling out. I know what I have.
Yeah.
It's like Tesla. It's like so-and-so offer me $1 million for my patent. It's like, no, I know what I have.
Yeah. So this one video in particular, though, was these people on a riverboat. And this doesn't have to do with cryptids, but it does kind of have to do with conspiracy. They drove by this area where there was this big steel, or sorry, like it was like a big like cement like entrance. It was like a secret entrance to some kind of facility. Mm-hmm. And you saw like it was just in the water somewhere, and it looked super high tech and fancy. But this was back in like 2006, and I remember I can never find the video again. But it was just like it said secret entrance to government building, and it was like this crazy secret like cement building with this like door that come down. It was super cool.
I saw that on the movie Tomb Raider.
Maybe.
Yep. And she has to fight off the sharks.
Probably.
While holding her breath. She holds her breath for a long time in that cave, by the way.
Dude, Angelina Jolie's got a set of lungs on her.
Well, all they had to do to keep them away, it's like the next person that tried to go down to that spot, the government hires piranhas now.
I remember that video, and then I also remember this ghost video where it was like the most realistic video I'd seen at the time. It turns out it was fake, but I remember this guy's just going into this entrance of this like dark room, and it was a square. It was like a white square. It like jumped out at him, but it looked really realistic, and it was...
What does a white square do?
Scares the shit out of you, I guess.
Probably just stays home and plays with his pocket protectors.
Fucking nerd.
You did a lot of research.
Can you imagine being a ghost that's a nerd?
Fucking white squares always reading books.
God.
What are you doing? Science experiments?
Hey, white square ghost, bitch. Come over here and eat this white dog shit. Bitch! Nerd.
Bitch! Dude, it's so it's probably Atlantis, honestly. It probably wasn't the government.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Hot take. Hot take.
Okay.
Atlantis is real. That's where UFOs come from. They're not coming from outside of the Earth. Atlanteans are actually aliens already. They came into Earth. They saw Area 51 is like where one of the Atlanteans landed on the land, and then we fucked them up. They're like, man, we were just going to ask if like we could just chill here for a while, and because our planet got destroyed, and here these guys are freaking jerks. I guess we'll just live in the largest space on the Earth because we don't need air.
Right.
We'll just live underwater. So Atlanteans are aliens, and the UFOs are like 16-year-old kids that just got their Atlantean driver's license, and they're like, oh, don't go above the surface. It's like, no, I'm going to do it. Mom can't tell me what to do. Yeah. They come up, and then they get caught, and they're like, oh, shit, I got to go down. And that's why they dive into the ocean.
I mean, have you seen Pacific Rim? Because that's basically what they say in Pacific Rim.
Really? I see. This is all me. And I also say that Sasquatch is a burrower, and that's why you never see him, is because he burrows himself in everywhere you see him. There's lots of caves, and that's where you get the cave goblins from. Oh. And actually, Sasquatch is just the Atlanteans' pets, because like once you go down so far into the caves, you just journey into the ocean. Yeah. And it's just like the dogs of the Atlanteans.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Dogs of the Atlanteans. It's a little furry human goblin.
I think that's a great Pixar movie. Dogs of the Atlanteans.
It's a pretty good one.
Or a freaking murder movie.
Boom, boom, boom.
Dogs of the Atlanteans.
I don't have friends.
Love it.
In that voice.
But in Pacific Rim, basically, there's like a portal that opens up in the bottom of the ocean. Mm-hmm. And every like 2 weeks, these giant aliens come out.
Yeah. Well, that's where the Titans come from in like Hercules. So I don't think they stole that from... I don't think I stole that from Pacific Rim. And I do think Pacific Rim probably stole their idea from the Titans in Hercules, where they were like stuck in the bottom of the ocean in that prison for so long. And Hades let them out.
I can see that.
I saw it on a cartoon once. It's real.
Cartoons are great. Hercules had great graphics for the time.
It was, cartoon. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It would take a really creative creature to blow my mind, in a sense of being like, oh my gosh, I didn't know those were real. Yeah. One of the most creative animals on this earth, maybe a narwhal. That's a weird one.
Narwhal or narwhal.
It's a narwhal.
But
I said narwhal accidentally, but
it's a narwhal.
Narwhal. Anyway, that's like a very creative, weird fucking animal.
It's a fucking narwhal, bro. It's a fucking narwhal.
It's basically a seal that's also a whale that's also a unicorn.
Fact.
It's weird.
It's great. Yeah. I mean, I think there's more stuff in our, like, it would surprise me less if there was a frickin' iguana that shot lava out of its face. That would be less surprising than learning
Then a pistol shrimp?
Then one, a pistol shrimp, and then two, I don't like learning how the television works. Like, that would be a harder thing to understand than just going, yeah, this pistol shrimp shoots a bubble that's hotter than the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, those things I can probably understand. Sun, hot. Bubble, hot. Shrimp, small.
It's weird.
TV, what the fuck is going on with it?
Honestly,
Ask me the difference between 1080p and 4K. All I know is it looks better. I don't know what makes the difference. I have no idea. None.
So TVs that are made now, I feel like make more sense to me than TVs that were made back in the day.
Right. When I did a report and I had to use an encyclopedia because I didn't have internet
Yeah.
on television, it was the most, is like, yeah, there's waves. Like how your cell phone works, how it just gets signal. That's harder to describe than the pistol shrimp or Sasquatch or sheep squatch or bat boy or Mothman, the Monongahela River Monster, that white wolf thing that exists. There's like some giant white wolf thing.
There's a white wolf?
Yeah, there's like some it's cryptid of Appalachia, and it was like a white wolf thing. Greenbrier Valley Brewing, all their stuff is like cryptid stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to know cryptid, just go on their website and see what all their shit is.
If I ever see something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like that before, that's a cryptid, I'm not going to go, oh, I'm just going to film it from a safe distance. I'm going to pursue that thing.
Yeah.
I don't care if it kills me. If I ever see an alien, I'm going to pursue that thing.
Right. I may not kill it.
No.
But I do want to at least get some footage, or I think that's why there's a lot of people, the people that come across cryptids and aliens and things like that and you don't believe them, is because they're so caught up. They're not thinking, oh, let me get footage of this thing. The type of people that see those things are the ones that are outdoors the most, and they're like, let me catch this motherfucker. And that's why they're like, you basically have to decide, am I going to be you both things are going to be sneaky. Both situations you got to be sneaky.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, do I risk pulling my phone out and taking a video, or do I try to get close and just get a good visual on this thing? Because it's hard to do a lot. I mean, it's hard to do all that.
I feel like everybody on this earth gets to do exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
I care too much about my art and my tattooing to go, you know what? I'm really interested in cryptids. I'm going to go out in the woods and really try to find one. Mm-hmm. That's where like the people who are like, I want to see what's out there. I want to see the weird shit. I want to see it do this. I want to see like some crazy animals.
Yep.
They're fucking scientists who do that.
Yeah.
Who work at Area 51 and dissect aliens, and they talk to pistol shrimp and they're like, yo, dude, you really think that bubble's hotter than the fire on the sun?
And the pistol shrimp goes, for sure.
He's like, dog, look at this shit.
Dog, how about you touch it? Touch it.
And the scientist is like,
no, I believe you. I believe you.
I believe.
It's like, who's going up to the pistol shrimp, okay, and like getting a thermometer? What thermometer measures the Fahrenheit of the sun? One. Who sent a thermometer that far? Who did it?
Here's where I know science is a myth. What, they gonna send a thermometer to the sun?
Yeah.
Okay, I can wait 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, SpaceX, you sent a thermometer to the sun. Ooh. We haven't even explored 95% of the ocean, and you said you were sending a thermometer to the sun, and those two have to connect. SpaceX has to talk to AquaX or OceanX or whatever it is, and they have to go, oh, how hot was the sun? About this hot. How hot was that shrimp bubble? About this hot. Shit, man, the shrimp bubble was hotter?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I wonder if
It's going to melt your thermometer.
There's got to be like, at this point, if they're exploring more outer space than exploring like towards the center of the Earth, they have to just know what's going on in the Earth. It's like, okay, it's all dirt.
It's like, and it's like they've only seen the colossal squid? It's like the giant squid. You know how many sightings they've seen of it live? 2 sightings. Literally 2.
Yeah.
So there's been more sightings of the Monongahela River Monster and Sasquatch and all these other things than the colossus squid.
Yeah.
And and all these other things that are deep within the ocean that you can't even get down to because the pressure's so crazy. They have stuff now that you can get down to, but then you have like you have to have lights.
Yeah.
And you're just scaring everything away. So it's like there's...
Okay. Right now, if you were in charge of Elon Musk's corporation,
Okay.
would you go, hey, Elon Musk?
That's exactly how I'd start.
What's up, guy? What's up, man?
I would say,
Dap
hey,
him up.
nice to meet you, Elon
Say, hey,
Musk.
I just got news after doing my podcast in Morgantown, West Virginia with my friend. I'm a barber, by the way.
Yeah.
We're gonna change the course of all of the assets that you have.
Yeah.
What direction would you take Elon Musk's assets?
I would probably...
If you had total control. Just like, hey, use your brain and figure this situation out.
It's like, we need to figure out is the Earth flat or not?
He'd go, it's actually...
We're gonna take B.O.B. Okay?
Bob.
The rapper. Artist.
You mean the creator of the hit song?
Airplanes in the light sky.
I was going to say that.
The scars.
The creator of the hit song Strange Clouds?
Yeah. Yes. One album later. Had Morgan Freeman on the album. Amazing.
You did a lot of research.
I'm gonna put him in a freaking plane, and we're gonna go completely around the world. No,
In 80 days.
not even. Yeah, we're gonna get on a freaking hot air balloon. B.O.B. Me, Jackie Chan, gonna go around the world and race around the world in 80 days. See how long it takes. It'll probably be 80 days since we named it that. And if not, we're liars. And then he'll be like, wow, we actually did go in a fucking big circle. All you have to do is track it on your freaking Apple Watch, and it'll tell you went in a circle.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a circle. It's a circle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Not a circle. A circle.
Yeah.
Sphere circle, not a circle. Circle. But
I
that's
would
what
ask
I would do.
Elon Musk to be like, hey, just go down. Check out the Earth's crust. Check out the mantle.
Yeah.
Check out the outer and inner core.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going on.
Magma.
I want to see some magma.
Yeah. Magma, bruh. And I would say, can you just find the cryptids?
All I got to say is, like, if we're not really discovering shit on Earth anymore, and people say, most of the world's surface hasn't been most of the oceans haven't been explored. It's like, it must be some boring shit if we haven't explored it. Like, no wonder you want to try out here, because on Earth, underneath all that water and...
Well, it's dark as hell.
Yeah.
It's dark as hell.
Bring a light bulb.
Isn't it? It's crazy because,
Bring
like,
some filament.
when I was in Hawaii, if you go beneath the water's surface 20 feet, there's no red light. So can you imagine how boring it would be past like 200 feet? There's hardly any color at all.
Yikes.
Like literally, did you know that? Past 20 feet, there's no red light. So everything has like a blue, green, but if you had a flashlight and was shining on like the coral and stuff, it would show the different reds of the pigment and of all that. I say pigment because I was listening to our own podcast the other day. Yeah, I listen to our own podcast. But you would see the actual real colors. But because of how the water is in Hawaii off the coast of Maui, after 20 feet, no red.
In the daytime?
At all.
Okay.
Yeah, because the sun goes through the water, and after that amount of time, it reflects all red light. So if you were to be, if you were to look up at the sun at below 20 feet in the water, it would look bluish, not yellowish.
Whoa. That is blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, so everybody's like, man, this coral's boring as fuck.
Yeah.
But then if you just took a flashlight, even if you just had a flashlight in the daytime, you would see all the colors.
What you're saying. Okay, I got you. I follow
And
you
it's
now.
true because it's like everything is so crystal clear and blue.
Yeah. I got you.
It's so blue there. That's why all that ocean water, all the ocean water that you see is like, oh, it's so crystal, it's so blue. It's because there's no reds. You don't see the reds.
I hate seeing red. I hate seeing blood. I hate seeing it outside of my body or inside of my body. And I'm just kidding because I fucking have helped Brandon split some tongues. And I don't need to jump topics like that. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Oh, God. We're under the water.
Go.
Juggle them boys.
Do you have anything else you want to say about cryptids today? What's one you're scared of?
One that I'm scared of? Ooh, wow. Where am I? Set the scene. Just in the woods? Anything?
Let's just say it's right now. You go outside. What would you be afraid to see out in the parking lot?
Everything. I'd be afraid of like a large man in the parking lot, or a very small woman.
Me too.
Because
honestly, it was a really, really tiny woman. I'd be freaked the fuck
just
out.
like running like her legs are going way faster than expected.
Yeah,
that's scary. It's like, what the fuck was that?
I have bad dreams about that sometimes.
Yeah,
a little tiny item I can't like catch it, and it's like gonna kill me.
Yeah, like if
a tiny monster.
Like if I saw like a raccoon unexpectedly, it's gonna scare me.
Yeah,
anything will scare me.
Okay.
I mean, if there's like a shape I didn't expect, I'm fucking square.
I'm not afraid of Bigfoot because it's just a monkey
that you know of.
Not afraid of a chupacabra because it's not real.
Just an unreal dog that can chew your face off.
If I saw a giant turtle on Cheat Lake, I would never ever swim there again. I think the only thing that would probably freak me out is UFO. And then I'd be out the game.
My brother tried to call me one night at like 3 a.m. because he was looking at a UFO. Fact.
Whoa.
He
Lucky.
lined. It was a light. It was a light in the sky, and he knew that it wasn't a natural light from something of like a planet or whatever, because for an hour he watched it and he lined it up with the side of his house. So with like how the stars are moving, like the Earth is moving. So how the Earth is rotating, like you start seeing stars go by.
Yeah.
And he lined it up, and it just kept going.
Whoa.
Just back and forth over and over and over again. And then it just zipped off.
I want to have an experience like that. I definitely want that to happen.
Stay up late and stop
that.
looking at your PlayStation.
I'm going to have to do that sometime. Do you have any announcements that you want to say before the end of the podcast?
So just know that cryptids can be real.
Yes.
Just things that are and especially the ones that are just like, oh, it's just an oversized this. Like, I know people that have caught, I don't know them specifically, but I have watched videos and they're just normal fishing videos. It's not like, man catches monster or anything.
Right.
it's just a 110-pound catfish.
Yeah.
So if there's a 110-pound catfish in just a random river, there can be anything.
Yep.
Because we're literally breathing in oxygen.
You did a lot of research.
And breathing out carbon dioxide.
You did a lot of research.
And then plants are just saying, you know what? We'll turn that into oxygen again.
Yeah.
And that's how we live.
That's how we live.
And that's how we live. And then we decide, and then vegetarians are like, you know what? I think we should eat all the stuff that gives us oxygen.
Some BS.
Have you ever thought about that, vegetarians?
Jerks.
Probably haven't.
Big jerks.
You're killing us all. We'll kill animals. You kill the rest of humanity.
Give us a follow on Instagram, Today's Prey. Give us a follow on TikTok, Today's Prey Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for everybody listening. We'll see you next week.